Strength is often misunderstood. Society has conditioned us to believe that strength is something you can measure with a tape, a scale, or a mirror. We're told that it has to look a certain way: toned arms, flat stomach, a very specific body type. But here's the truth: strength is not a size. It's a decision. It's a choice you make every single day to rise above excuses, to push forward even when you're tired, and to take ownership of your life regardless of the circumstances. When you decide to be strong, you're deciding to take control of your story. You're saying, I will not let the world define me. I will define me. That choice doesn't depend on whether you wear a size 4 or a size 14. It depends on your willingness to stand tall in the face of challenges, to push back against limiting beliefs, and to keep going even when it would be easier to quit. Think about the strongest people you've met. Were they all the same size? Did they all look like the fitness magazine cover models? Probably not. Because strength isn't about aesthetics, it's about grit. It's about the inner fire that refuses to die out. It's about showing up for yourself when nobody else will, and doing it again tomorrow and the day after that. When you commit to strength as a decision, you stop letting the scale or the mirror dictate your worth. Instead, you measure yourself by the effort you give, the challenges you face, and the way you choose to respond to them. You realize that strength is found in moments where most people would back down, but you choose to lean in. The decision to be strong transforms your life because it changes your identity. You stop saying, I wish I could be stronger, and you start saying, I am strong because I choose to be. This is where empowerment begins, in the recognition that you are not powerless over your body, your mind, or your circumstances. You always have the choice to build yourself from the inside out. This mindset allows you to embrace every stage of your life without shame. Whether your body is lean, curvy, recovering from illness, or rebuilding after change, your strength is still valid. The shape may shift, but the decision to keep moving forward, to keep fighting for yourself, is what truly makes you powerful. So remember this: you are not strong because you fit into a certain size. You are strong because you decide to keep showing up for your health, for your dreams, for your life. That decision is where strength is born, and it's the one thing that no one can take away from you. Every woman carries a different story, and with it, a different kind of strength. Some stories are loud and visible: the athlete breaking records, the entrepreneur building an empire, the activist fighting for justice. Others are quiet, but no less powerful: the mother working 2 jobs to keep food on the table, the woman overcoming loss and heartbreak, the survivor who chooses to keep living with hope. These stories may look different, but at their core, they share the same truth. Strength comes in many forms, and every woman's version of it is valid. The danger comes when we start believing there's only one approved version of strength, the one we see in ads, social media posts, or Hollywood scripts. That's a lie. Your journey doesn't have to match anyone else's to be meaningful. Just because someone else runs marathons or lifts heavy weights doesn't mean your strength is any less real if yours is getting out of bed every day and facing life head on. When we celebrate the uniqueness of every woman's strength, we create space for all kinds of victories to be honored. One woman's win might be climbing a mountain, another's might be learning to say no for the first time in her life. Both are monumental, both require courage, and both deserve applause. The size, shape, or visibility of the achievement doesn't determine its worth. The heart behind it does. Your strength story is built from your own experiences, your battles, your victories, and even your scars. No one else has walked your exact path. No one else has faced your unique challenges. And that means your strength has a flavor, a texture, and a depth that can't be duplicated. That's what makes it powerful. It's yours alone. Recognizing the uniqueness of your strength also sets you free from the prison of comparison. You stop looking at another woman's life as a measuring stick for your own. Instead, you can admire her strength without feeling threatened by it, because you know yours is just as real, just as important, even if it looks completely different. This is where community and empowerment truly grow. When women honor each other's unique strength instead of competing over whose is better, the energy shifts. We lift each other higher. We learn from each other's experiences. We become mirrors reminding each other of what's possible. So, embrace your unique strength story. Own it fully. Tell it with pride, whether it's loud or quiet, physical or emotional, public or private, because the world doesn't need one type of strong woman. It needs all of them. And your story might just be the inspiration another woman needs to find her own. Your body will change. It will change with age, with seasons of life, with motherhood, with stress, with victories, and with challenges. But the one thing that has the power to remain steady and to even grow stronger with time is your mindset. That's why mindset will always outweigh body type when it comes to true strength. A powerful body without a powerful mind can crumble, but a powerful mind can carry you through storms your body alone could never endure. The mindset of a strong woman is one that refuses to be defined by limits. It's the voice in your head that says, I can, even when the world says, you can't. It's the belief that challenges aren't roadblocks, but training grounds. This is the mental muscle that needs just as much training as your physical muscles. And once you build it, no one can take it from you. Think about it. A person can have the so-called perfect body and still be miserable, insecure, or afraid to take risks. On the other hand, a woman who's built a resilient mindset can walk into any room, regardless of her size or shape, and radiate unshakable confidence. That's because her worth is anchored in something deeper than appearance. It's anchored in her beliefs, her values, and her determination. A strong mindset changes how you approach goals. Instead of punishing yourself for what you aren't, you begin building yourself for what you want to become. You start making choices that align with your health, your dreams, and your peace, rather than choices based on shame or comparison. This mental shift is where transformation truly begins, not in the mirror, but in your mind. Mindset also determines how you handle setbacks. Without it, one bad day can make you quit. With it, one bad day becomes a lesson. A strong mindset gives you the ability to adapt, to pivot, and to keep going when life doesn't go according to plan. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about trusting yourself to handle the imperfect moments without giving up. When you focus on mindset over body type, you also free yourself from society's ever-changing beauty standards. You stop chasing someone else's version of ideal and start living in alignment with what truly matters to you. This kind of freedom is priceless, and it's the reason why the women you admire most often have a presence that goes far beyond their appearance. So, remember this: the most important muscle you can train is your mind. Feed it with beliefs that build you, challenge it with goals that excite you, and protect it from voices that try to shrink you. Because when your mindset is strong, your strength will show in every part of your life, no matter your body type. Every mark on your body tells a story of battles fought, storms weathered, and victories claimed. Your scars are not imperfections, they're evidence. They show the world that you've been through something and you came out the other side stronger. They say, I've lived, I've endured, and I'm still here. Whether those scars are from childbirth, surgery, injury, or life's relentless challenges, they are badges of honor. Your curves, too, are part of your strength story. They speak of nourishment, of womanhood, of the way your body has carried you through different seasons of life. Society may try to dictate which curves are acceptable, but the truth is your curves are uniquely yours, shaped by your genetics, your lifestyle, your history. They deserve to be celebrated, not criticized, because they are part of the body that serves you every single day. And then there are the wrinkles, the ones you've earned through years of laughter, tears, late nights, and hard work. They are not a sign that you're fading. They're proof that you've been present in your life. Each one holds moments you've lived fully, choices you've made, and lessons you've learned. They tell a story of wisdom, of perspective, and of depth that no smooth, untouched skin could ever reveal. The beauty industry spends billions trying to convince you to erase these marks of life. But here's the truth. Without them, your story would be invisible. Your body is not meant to look like it's never been through anything. It's meant to reflect the truth of your journey. Every scar, every curve, every wrinkle says, I've experienced life, and I've grown because of it. When you start viewing these physical signs as proof of power, instead of flaws to hide, everything changes. You walk taller. You speak with more confidence. You stop apologizing for taking up space. You stop chasing some unrealistic standard and start living fully in the body you have now. And something else happens too. You inspire others. Because when another woman sees you wearing your story with pride instead of shame, she begins to believe she can do the same. Your acceptance of your own body gives others permission to embrace theirs. This is how we shift culture. Not by erasing our stories, but by wearing them openly and unapologetically. So the next time you see a scar, a curve, or a wrinkle, don't wish it away. Remember that mark is proof. Proof that you've lived. Proof that you've endured. Proof that you are still here, still fighting, still growing. And that makes you powerful beyond measure. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to drain your confidence and sabotage your progress. The moment you start measuring your worth against someone else's highlight reel, you lose sight of your own journey. You forget how far you've come because you're too busy staring at where someone else is. And here's the dangerous part. You start believing that their path is the standard you should follow, even when it has nothing to do with your purpose. The problem with comparison is that it's never a fair game. You're comparing your behind the scenes, the struggles, the doubts, the failures, to someone else's polished, filtered, and edited moments. Social media has amplified this trap, making it look like everyone else has it all together. But those images don't tell the whole story. You're seeing the chapter they want to show, not the book they had to live through. When you live in comparison, you rob yourself of joy. Instead of celebrating your own wins, you minimize them because they don't look like someone else's. You stop appreciating your body, your growth, your progress, because you've decided it's not enough by someone else's standard. This mindset doesn't just steal your strength. It blinds you to it. The truth is, your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. Your challenges, your pace, your victories, they are yours for a reason. You were never meant to be a duplicate of another woman. You were meant to be the fullest, boldest, strongest version of yourself. And the only way to do that is to focus on your own lane. When you break free from comparison, you open the door to gratitude. You begin to notice the things that are going right in your life. You recognize how much progress you've already made. You stop chasing someone else's version of success and start building your own. That shift doesn't just bring peace. It fuels your motivation in a way that comparison never could. It's not that you can't be inspired by others. You can and you should. But inspiration should lift you up, not push you down. The key is to turn admiration into motivation, to let someone else's success show you what's possible without letting it convince you that you're behind or unworthy. So the next time you catch yourself comparing, stop and remind yourself, her journey is hers and mine is mine. Your value is not determined by how you stack up against someone else. It's determined by your courage to keep showing up, your willingness to keep growing, and your decision to own your story. And that kind of strength is yours alone. Strong women don't just exist in the world, they change it. They influence families, communities, industries, and generations. And here's the powerful truth, that impact doesn't come from looking a certain way. It comes from being a certain way. It comes from resilience, from leadership, from courage, and from refusing to be silent when something needs to change. A strong woman knows that her presence has weight, and she uses it to lift others up. History is filled with examples of women who reshaped the world. Leaders, innovators, fighters for justice. But the same power exists in everyday women who may never make the news. The mother raising children with integrity. The teacher sparking curiosity in her students. The entrepreneur building a business that gives others opportunity. The volunteer fighting for her community. These acts may seem small compared to world headlines, but they ripple outward in ways we can't always measure. What makes strong women world shapers is that they don't wait for permission. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They act, even when they're afraid, even when the odds aren't in their favor. Their strength is contagious. It inspires others to believe they can do more, be more, and stand taller. One woman's courage can set off a chain reaction that changes countless lives. The beauty is that there's no single mold for a world-shaping woman. She can be quiet or bold, introverted or extroverted, in the spotlight or behind the scenes. Her influence comes not from her style, her shape, or her image, but from the impact of her actions. She knows her voice matters, her choices matter, and her example matters. Strong women also shape the world by shaping the next generation. When young girls see women owning their power, no matter their size, age, or background, they learn that strength has no limits. They learn that they don't have to shrink to fit in. They learn that their voice, their body, and their dreams are valid and worth protecting. This influence goes beyond gender, too. Strong women inspire men to be better leaders, partners, and allies. They shift workplace cultures, challenge unfair systems, and bring empathy into places where it's often missing. In other words, they change the rules of the game for everyone. So never underestimate the power of your strength. Every time you choose to stand firm in who you are, you're shaping the world in some way. Every act of courage, every moment of resilience, every decision to keep going, it's all part of a legacy. And that legacy proves this truth. Strong women don't just come in every shape, they shape the future. Ladies and gentlemen, hear me on this. Strength is not about the inches around your waist, the number on your scale, or the reflection in the mirror. It's about the fire in your spirit, the grit in your heart, and the choices you make every single day to rise above, to keep going, and to own your story. We've talked about it. Strength is not a size, it's a decision. Every woman's strength story is unique. Mindset will always outweigh body type. Your scars, curves, and wrinkles are not flaws, they're living proof of your power. Comparison will rob you if you let it. But when you step into your lane, your strength expands. And when you own that strength, you don't just live in this world, you shape it. I want you to remember this the next time you doubt yourself. Your body has carried you through storms that could have broken you. It has held your laughter, your tears, your victories, and your losses. It has been your constant companion through every chapter of your life. And it deserves not just your care, but your respect. Stop waiting until you look a certain way to start living boldly. Stop postponing your confidence until you match someone else's standard. You are strong now, not someday, not when, not if, now. And the moment you claim that, the game changes. Because the world doesn't need another copy of somebody else's version of strength. It needs you in your shape, your form, your truth. It needs your voice, your vision, your courage. You are here for a reason, and your shape is part of your purpose. So stand tall, speak up, show up for yourself. And when you do, watch how the world starts to shift around you. Strong women don't wait for the world to give them a place. They create it. And I promise you this, the more you own your strength, the more you'll realize you were never just fitting into life. You were shaping it all along. Now go out there and show the world what your kind of strong looks like.